PWO, 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 PWO.
Here we go. Welcome to the PWO WrestleCast. I am your host, Pat Lilly. Tonight on the show, we have the Dean of Old School, D. White.
Yes, we do.
Our very own Cod Sinclair. And the wrestling purist, Jeff Hitman Hall. You can find us here on Facebook and YouTube and most podcast listening apps. If you're like what you're watching, you can support us at ko-fi.com at PWO123 for the price of one cup of coffee. That is, check us out at ko-fi.com PWO123.
Wow, that sounds like you.
Now that I have gotten my WWE script over, welcome to the show tonight, boys.
It's as simple as 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness.
Hey, you sounded like Chris Jericho doing like those Omaha Steaks commercials.
No, he sounded
I was doing my best DX merch table impression. That was
you sound like somebody had you in an arm bar or a gun to your head. Like, what's his
arm bar? Did you say arm bar? Because that's number one on my list. Arm bar.
That's right.
Move to arm bar.
Canadian arm bar.
How are we doing tonight? How are we doing tonight, guys?
Bills.
Yeah, exactly. Now that we've got that out of the way, please donate all your money that is there, please. Congratulations. We're going to start with some congratulations to Kenny King on his recent engagement.
That's K-I-N-G. King.
That's right.
Yeah, talking to Caprice, this is a really awesome moment for them, and he's on the short list to officiate their wedding. So
can we talk about how cool it is to be buddies with Caprice Coleman?
Yeah.
That dude is one of the realest.
Oh,
guys in the business. Yeah, in the business.
If you'd have told me years and years ago when I saw him at a VFW in Baltimore, he would be on a show and actively talking to us, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure we could probably send him a message and he'd, text us back. I would have told you you're a crazy person.
Yeah, exactly.
You can call me a crazy person because they were doing the live bracket reveal. So I jumped into the YouTube comments just to say hey, this is awesome. Jay Lethal's probably gonna win the whole thing. But he was like, hey, shout out to PWO.
Yeah,
that's awesome, man.
Hey, Ryan, speaking of that, today I was doing the tweet along with the ROH Pure right now because they started at 7:00 with all the stars. And I tweeted out to that Todd Sinclair needed a haircut, and he hit me back, and he was like, "Yeah, I agree, 100%." So.
That's awesome.
So does his son. Ugh.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's alleged son, right?
So
yeah,
allegedly.
Next thing is Jeff Hardy re-signed with WWE.
Okay.
How about that?
Who cares? Again, I've been saying.
It's interesting for the fact that Mattson, AEW, maybe there was some speculation he would move on. Maybe he wouldn't be a part of WWE going forward. So
I didn't think so. They sweetened the pot and gave him the Intercontinental belt. Hey, look, we're going to push you. Then you sign, and then guess what? It's over.
Yeah, they also just cut another 60 people. So they probably had a little bit of extra cash to back up.
What's our thing? Hashtag push right out of the door.
Push right out the door.
Right.
All right.
On a positive note, though, he does get the No More Words theme back. So I'm a little excited for that. But other than that, I don't watch SmackDown, so this is a moot point.
Yeah. How much do you think he asked them not to do another I'm a drunk angle?
Well,
you think he got that right to get his contract?
Well,
I think all the zeros at the end of his salary say keep doing whatever you want.
Right, and actually they did have a little bit of a a hint towards that on SmackDown Friday. Just just heel.
Then there'd be another.
No, just
Oh my God.
it was during the little back and forth, and that was a little bit of a comment, but anyway. Also, he also said that he was hoping to be able to bring his Willow character.
Oh God!
Yeah, I saw
Maybe
that.
we'll see some of that going
Oh,
forward.
Jesus.
Definitely
Kill me
gonna
now.
start drinking again.
Well, and for my sake, I don't know what Jeff Hardy we haven't already seen, and I would welcome them doing something new with him, because what they've done since he's come back is just been have him retread what he did 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
the funny thing is, 10 years ago, nobody would have told, outside of maybe present company, I don't think anyone would have said Matt Hardy was the better wrestler and better
Right.
performer. And man, has Matt been doing circles around Jeff the last decade.
That's for sure.
Yeah. For the people that don't understand or haven't been watching wrestling, Matt, the Matt Hardy's gimmick, whatever, broken, woken, whatever it is at this point, is probably like if you had to put a top 10 gimmicks, I might put it in there just on the merit of turning someone's career completely around. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just the way people got behind it,
yeah.
and it's insane.
for sure. Next thing on the docket, Tessa Blanchard is going to compete in what is being called her last indie date. Speculation on where she's landing. Where do we think? Jeff, you got a guess?
Oh, I mean, if she's smart, I'm going to sound like an idiot. If she's smart, she'll go to the WWE. And I know that sounds terrible, but I hate to say that in the
Go
climate
get your
of
money.
2020. Listen,
Well,
everybody
yeah.
else is cashed in. She needs to go cash in because she is a legit star. So go sign a 2, 3, 4, 5-year contract and then do your thing and then be gone. But get your money.
From a women's standpoint, I think especially though that makes sense. I mean,
There's just nowhere else to
As bad
go.
as the main roster booking is, like the most of the best women in the world are in WWE right now.
Yeah.
It's true, and apparently she dropped the belt to Kylie Ray on a Warrior Wrestling show. I guess it was one of those minor league baseball stadium shows they did outside, and so apparently they had kind of a curtain call moment, and they hugged and stuff. So that leads me to believe that she's burned that bridge to Impact for sure.
There's no way she's going back there.
For real. So I would like to see her. Maybe, I would love to see Tessa and Shayna. I'm sorry, I want to see that. I want to see it yesterday, but I know they're going to it's going to be like a long burn.
Do you think AEW can snatch her up, or do you think she's too much of a much of an issue as far as the outside of wrestling things go?
I think where she's going is she's already signed a contract, and it's just keeping it on the down low.
Yeah.
Because the rumor was that was kind of why she was sort of paid to no show the Impact show, and so I think
which is a calling card of who.
Vince McMahon for sure.
It's good shit, man.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Sorry, Ryan. Go ahead, man.
No, you're good. First of all, she's gonna go to WWE, and here's why. They are without their top women's star right now. Okay, Charlotte's gonna be out until the end of the year. Okay, Vince is gonna see dollar signs like freaking Scrooge McDuck as soon as Tessa walked in the room. Okay, he's gonna push all his chips in. We're gonna build to Charlotte versus Tessa at WrestleMania, and that's the last you'll hear of Tessa because she'll probably go under because her last name isn't Flair.
That's what happens to people who wrestle the Queen at Mania.
Well, I mean, she
Yeah,
should,
I mean, look at what Rhea Ripley is doing. Granted, she was just in a cage match, but from WrestleMania to that point, what has she really been accomplishing?
I'm gonna hot take this year. Rhea Ripley does very little for me.
Don't start this, Pat. Don't do this.
She's good in
Don't do
ring,
this.
but her whole gimmick is stupid.
Well, it's stupid when she's a face. Yes,
It's stupid.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
Agreed.
gonna take the hot take also and completely agree with Pat, which happens a lot. But I just think that what I saw building up to WrestleMania was that Rhea Ripley was not ready for that spot.
Agreed.
And yeah, and so then it didn't happen. So however, Tessa Blanchard is ready for that spot.
Yes, I agree with both you guys. If you want to argue she's not ready for the spot, that's fair. I got no problem. But I'm saying she still is going to be a star. She may not be there yet, but Tessa is there now completely.
I mean, you know how little a fan of Shayna I am. But man, that is Shayna's spot way before Rhea Ripley should be getting any kind of main event
agreed.
Love like that.
Agree. Well, again, remember, I was also on record for saying that they should, as much as I wanted to see them, they shouldn't have put them. They shouldn't have did that. Not yet.
Yeah.
Well, so do we think that NXT is even a possibility for her, or
no way?
And right now, the women's division in NXT is so bad. I think
it's a wasteland.
I think you got to straight main roster her. I think she's a big enough star that you can do that.
Yeah, I mean, because the only person, probably Dakota Kai.
They're like vignette and retreads of Carmella to try and get people excited about main roster. I wasn't going to acknowledge it, frankly, Jeff.
Carmella's back.
Officially.
They did a vignette where they're just showing like.
Is she like Mela is money, or is she like serious?
No. Like they're not. They're showing like shots of a half naked woman, and
from like the knees down.
Yeah, like
and then the
random
last one,
shots
she was
of her
like
body.
putting her bra on. Funny thing, they're really hyping this up to be a surprise. But she has that tattoo on the inside of her arm, and they had it air with that. And one of her fan people were like, "Hey, that's one of Carmella's."
It's going to be Carmella because that's her tattoo.
Is this going to be like the?
Great job, WWE. It's going to be like Lana.
No, Emma. Remember
Emma?
No,
it's going to be like Emmalina.
Emmalina. Yeah, that's
Emmalina.
Right. Another one that man, don't mess this up. Impact. Don't have Tennille Dashwood go over Peraza. Yeah, thank you, Jeff. So consensus is WWE, right? We're all kind of unless AEW pulled an upset, but I don't think.
Yeah, but I would still argue. I hate to say this, but I think she's a bigger fish than any other pond. I was
gonna ask, do we think she's too big to go to NWA?
Oh yeah. I mean, she's too big to go literally anywhere else besides WWE.
We don't think
that's what she thinks.
And I don't mean this in any derogatory way, but we don't think that her goods are not ruined by all the backstage stuff, right?
Oh no,
she's still
no, not at all. Okay. It's pro wrestling.
No, but
it's pro wrestling, but this is a different day and age of pro wrestling.
Yeah,
he's a Blanchard. Here
is one thing to think about. Is it going to be in her contract that she is able to compete for men's titles? Because that could be something that Vince is like, we don't do that here.
WWE is not going to do that.
I hope.
So maybe that's going to steer her clear of not going to WWE.
Man, I hope that's not a thing anywhere anymore.
I'm just saying.
I think you're wrong. I think you just put one more zero on the end of that, and that takes care of that.
Oh, you mean I don't have to wrestle for men's titles, but I get an extra cool meal? I'm in.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
I mean, I will not wrestle for any women's titles if I'm given $1 million.
Yeah, I think that although you guys aren't about it, she convinced me with that Sami Callihan. I mean, she was able to hold her own. I think if anybody could do it, they have a few people there who, unfortunately, I think it's just a gimmick. I don't, it can't be like a China, when China did that, because she was convincing too. It's just, I don't think that it's ever going to be a regular part of WWE like it is on the indies. It's just not. It's not something that they have to do, so they're not going to.
I'm gonna respectfully disagree, and I agree with you in the sense that she pulled off matches that proved she could do choreographed matches with men, but I still think it takes away, from the kayfabe of it. She is a great athlete and she can pull off wrestling matches that are choreographed. Like Sami Callihan is a badass who would whip the shit out of her in a real fight,
Oh yeah,
and that's why it's not believable.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
let's not forget what this guy was doing, a year ago to dudes like Eddie Edwards, bust him in the face with baseball bats. And,
Evan Sullivan.
That's not kayfabe, though. That's
No,
not kayfabe.
I side on the side with Pat, but I think you're both correct. In the sense of like again, no women wrestling men, please and thank you. And two, Dwight, you're right. If of all these intergender match, this is probably the best one that's ever been executed. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, and I'm not saying like she can't go, and it didn't look good. You know what I'm saying? But
no, but you're right, Pat. Nobody wins when
yeah. Okay, so on to the first two matches of the Ring of Honor Pure tournament. As everybody's seen, the matches from Friday. I know. So in the first match, we had probably the best matchup of the first round as far as star power goes, with Dalton Castle versus Jay Lethal. Jay Lethal ended up winning in the 14th minute of the match.
Smart.
Caught him with a lethal injection. He was now something I need to clarify, and I didn't see it in the rules. If it goes to a judge's decision, do rope breaks, the amount of rope breaks you have, does that affect the judge's scorecard? Should it?
Yeah.
I think it should.
I
haven't actually seen in the rules where it affects that.
It does. It's an old school pure title rule, but I am almost positive that they adapted it to this new age pure championship reign.
it used to be that way.
Yeah,
I was going to say, I assumed it was. It makes sense. Like, if you're counting those, you would think it would be an advantage. So Dalton Castle was up 3-1.
I just pulled up the rules. Just to see, and it does say that after the 3 rope breaks, that a rope break that putting your hand on the rope doesn't count. It doesn't break the pin or submission.
Yeah,
you can make a legal pin under
which
the
is
rope.
excellent.
Yeah, I like that,
I
but
like that.
I assumed, like I said, but I did not actually spell it out.
Ring of Honor doing Ring of Honor things.
Yeah,
and any
You're
ring,
right.
I love it that if a wrestler interferes in any match, they will be immediately fired from Ring of Honor.
Fired from the company. I love that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
No, immediate disqualification. No,
if you're gonna keep it pure, God bless, keep it pure.
Well, let me just tell you, and just how good it is, and I'm going to put this over as because I watched it and I tweeted along with them, and I really get in the Wheeler Yuta in his interview, the vignette, he was like, and if I can coax Jonathan Gresham into breaking the rules, then he gets disqualified. I mean, like, that's a smart strategy. Plus, Jonathan Gresham's been having a little bit of a heelish kind of thing going on. I'm going, oh my gosh, that is kayfabe. That's exactly what I want to see. That's real wrestling. Because that's what, of course, if it's real. That's how you would think, right? I could also get the guy disqualified and beat him and go on in the tournament. So I'm all about it, man. Loving it.
Yeah, ROH doing ROH things.
Yeah, you're 100% correct. And in the world we live in now, we forget about these things because of modern wrestling, which modern wrestling rules the world, and I'm fine with that. But it's just refreshing to get old school, and not even old school, just wrestling, where two people, it's not necessarily performance. We want to get to the title, want to get to the money, and it's about and they're not fighting each other, but it's a competition. And it's great the way they go about the rules, and like Pat and Matt said earlier, the build up and even all the promos. I mean, everything just makes sense. It feels like a fight. It feels like two guys wanting to battle or test each other.
Yeah.
And Jeff, I could ask you a question because I think maybe and you're an ROH guy. We acknowledge you're an ROH guy. And is that maybe where some of your disappointment in AEW comes from? Because they kind of sold it that that's what they were going to be. Was a little more competition based.
So I mean, I knew it wasn't going to be Ring of Honor just because I knew all the parties involved. But sometimes I think they straddle the line, Dwight, of doing. I feel like they're doing sometimes they do WWE style, but their way or their style. You know what I'm saying? Which again is fine. Like, you know, do you? Like, I'm not saying everything just because I don't like everything means that it's wrong or right. No, it's not. I'm just a schmuck like everybody else. But, you know, to some of us that like, you know, Ring of Honor, and this is also my thing too with AEW. It's not, it's WWE so bad, AEW's fine. You know, like there's things I don't like. But this the idea, and Dwight, again, I say this all the time and I sound like a broken damn record. People don't understand that Ring of Honor was, I'm gonna bang this damn table because it was all the wrestling we had, Dwight. You understand this. There's people that have no idea, and they're younger people, and that's fine. Like, you don't know what you don't know. But like, just people just don't understand like Ring of Honor. Like, they just don't understand. They have no clue on how good Ring of Honor was. It was the wrestling for the people forever.
Agreed.
Sorry.
Honor's real.
Honor is
it's
real.
Absolutely right. So let's discuss this first match. Man, I will start because I might be in the minority here. You know, both vignettes were fantastic. It was awesome to hear the mutual respect between Jay Lethal and Dalton Castle. Unless Dalton Castle's on his way out, Dalton Castle needed this win way more than Jay Lethal. And like they even made it a point kind of in the vignettes to talk about like, you know, last, you know, year or so, people forget like Dalton Castle is Dalton Castle and he is a main eventer and, you know, he is that damn good.
He is.
And so unless they're just kind of using him to put people over, I still don't like that it's Jay Lethal, like use a young guy at least to upset him if you're going to have him lose in the first round.
Right.
I get it. The storyline is Jay Lethal's going to try and become the first two-time pure champ and all that. I felt like this was booked incorrectly, whether it's Castle needed to go over or Castle needed to lose to Jay in like the semifinals. I don't agree with this booking at all.
So I agree with you in the sense of that it shouldn't have been a first round match. I think that coming out of the gate though, for their first TV episode back, I feel like they needed a big name match to get people to come back and watch.
I can respect that opinion.
Not everyone is, you know, like a Jeff who has been watching Ring of Honor forever. You know, who are some of the two biggest names we have, and it's Jay Lethal, Dalton Castle, and that it was probably built around that. Because other than them, I mean, one-on-one, the first round, they have the most star power. And while I see that. It should have been a semifinal match, but if it was booked this way in the sense of being back on TV, we need a great first episode, I'm fine with it. Dalton honestly didn't need a win. I mean, they haven't been doing anything for months though.
But he was doing very poorly on the way out. That's my argument. Is like this is the type of thing that could have propelled him back into superstardom. I feel like he, you know, the way he was fed to Roosh, all that, like I think his character has taken a huge hit over the last year.
I don't think that his performance in this match hinders that at all. I still think that he is.
It's not about performance. It's about it's. I guess I go back to the AEW thing. It's about wins and losses. Like, it doesn't matter how good you look in ring. At what point do you need to win a premier match?
What do you think, Dwight?
No,
Dwight,
I looked at the bracket, and when I look at the bracket, I go immediately look at all the people in there. The two names that pop out is like Lethal and Castle. So it's like if you're going to put over somebody new, you can't be one of those two guys because they're going to be in the main event picture no matter what. And I don't think Castle's – I mean, I don't know, but I'm just going to say I don't think him losing means he's leaving. I just think that in this tournament, you know, it's a chance to do something new. I think you've looked at it and you go, yeah, those – if I had these guys in a list, not in a bracket, those two guys are like top two seeds, 1 and 2, right? Maybe because I'm looking at the rest of it right now, and honestly, maybe you got PJ Black, you got Dave Finley, you've got Silas Young, you got Tracy Williams. I mean, you've got a lot of guys, but none of those rise to the top. These are your top 2 guys. I don't mind them going first. I don't mind Lethal going over, because when I think of ROH, I think of Jay Lethal. So I'm interested to see how the rest of the tournament plays out, because there's a lot of interesting matchups. I think I'm glad Ring of Honor's back. And I'm loving that. So.
Okay. Dwight, you need to put some respect on Silas Young's name.
I'm okay. I just said,
listen,
I love
You said there weren't
Silas Young. I'm just
any
saying,
other top guys.
if I just
okay?
see-
So,
if
so-
I no, I'm thinking. I mean, world right, former Ring of Honor TV champion. You're right. Sorry.
Wait,
Silas
hold
Young
on.
got
Aren't
so
the-
bad.
Aren't the top guys in AEW right now?
And they're doing top guy things.
They are.
okay, so I agree with. I guess I agree with everybody. I wouldn't have put this match right at the gate, but I could. I also can understand. You're trying to do your heavy hitters. I also think that it's also. I think it could be considered bad booking by putting them, head to head right out the gate. But I also thought it was somewhat of good booking, Pat. If you just think of, like you said, you watch both of their vignettes on it, and it pulls you in. So whether your guy wins or loses, you're pissed after that, no matter what. And some of that can be booking. Don't get me wrong, you're right. But then some of that actually just, it's just good product. You know what I mean?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I was pissed when I saw him lose. I knew he was gonna lose, because if you look at the bracket, this whole tournament is set up for Jay Lethal and Gresham.
And Pat, you're right. You're right, but you didn't think just maybe?
No, I mean, I even said it on the show last week. I'm sticking with my Castle prediction.
Okay.
But the reality is, we all know Jay Lethal and Gresham.
Yeah,
this whole tournament set up for them to wrestle in the finals.
Yes, and I'm just arguing this is just good product. That's all. With the vignettes and everything else.
Look, and I'm nitpicking about my guy, and that's the hill I'm choosing to die on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I have nothing. It was an entertaining hour.
No, it was great.
It was fantastic.
It was absolutely. No, it was absolutely great, and I think think Dalton. I don't know. I think Dalton may be out. Also, I think some of the stuff you said, Pat, you were right. But I think Ryan was right too. With everything coming back, I think everybody kind of gets a clean slate, kind of. You know what I'm saying? Like not so much a clean slate, but I mean, it's not like they've been off TV for a week, a month. No, they've been on TV for what, 4 or 5 months? I don't know, kind of.
I'm just tired of the disrespect to Dalton Castle.
And I definitely understand that. And I think he didn't he get fed to Roosh like that because of the back, right? If memory serves me correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, he got fed to Roosh, and then
don't care.
Oh my gosh,
Pat, the man was wrestling with a broken back.
Yeah, so pull him from the match.
Yeah,
you don't disrespect Dalton. That's disrespectful. That's finger poke bad.
Listen.
No,
ladies. No,
it's finger poke.
It's
bad.
not even close.
It is finger poke.
Ladies
bad.
and gentlemen of the podcast, this is called Real Wrestling with Real Emotion, and it's great. It's great.
Yes,
it is.
Yes, it
Pat's upset.
Hey,
I
am.
He should be, and he should be, because that's
you know
wrestling.
what? Because we're not going to get any more Dalton Castle. No more Dalton Castle for the rest of the tournament.
I can't wait to pop when he comes out in NXT with the boys. Oh boy, I can't wait.
He's not coming with the boys.
The boys are already there.
Yeah, the boys are already there. So, but
they're not going to be the boys. They're going to be the men. Don't worry.
You can see them. They may be part of Retribution. We don't know, or they may have been ninjas. We're not sure. But they
accompanied by Lars Sullivan.
Ninjas makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, but the boys definitely have been on television. You wouldn't know it because wearing masks, doing scripted cheers on Raw and SmackDown for a while.
So, the other match was Gresham and Wheeler Yuta. Great match as expected. Gresham gets the W. Man, I'm a big fan of Wheeler Yuta. That's a young cat that I think is gonna be a big name in wrestling going forward.
For sure.
Yeah.
And, I love the vignette. The vignette had me believe like, oh my gosh, he might win.
Yes, because that's what it's.
Right. I love
And
Wheeler
Dwight,
Yuta.
I know you
I've
know
seen,
this,
actually,
but
yeah,
that's what it's
I love Wheeler
supposed to
Yuta.
do. It's
I've
great.
seen him live on the Indies. I think he's great. But I'm like, oh darn, he's gonna lose to Gresham.
Well,
And then I'm watching the show. The vignette comes on. I was like, oh, I don't know. Maybe he's gonna win. I don't know.
and that's one thing ROH does that's great is they're not afraid to talk about people that are in other companies now.
Right.
You know, they made it a point to talk about, you know, Yuta being trained by Drew Gulak and Tracy Williams.
Yeah.
And they made it a point that he had, you know, gone and worked with Walter and other dudes over in Germany. And, you know, they even said, like, you know, Yuta's beaten Gresham before in, you know, in an independent match. You know, so they did not shy away from the fact that, like, he's beaten Gresham before, so it could happen again.
I watched that vignette when I was done. I was like, well, I mean, you know what? Gresham doesn't have to win. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just let Wheeler go through. You know?
Okay, I love Gresham, and I get that it's a part of his gimmick. Can he get rid of that stupid Pirates of the Caribbean mask?
Oh, I love it. I like that mask.
He looks like the freaking bad guy from that Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
He's the octopus, man. He's the octopus.
Well,
Live
technically now he's the foundation. So I'm on board with Pat on this one. If you're gonna be the foundation, you can't be the foundation and the octopus at the same time.
Yeah, octopus is a horrible foundation.
Well, but
You're right.
It's a really good finish. It's a really good finishing hold, though.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
And he's perfected
Sicko.
it, unlike others.
Yeah.
There you go, Pat.
Yeah. I love that. It reminds me of Tajiri, though. I love the tarantula.
Oh
It's
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Japanese buzzsaw.
But so far,
Yeah,
Ring of
crazy.
Honor definitely showing off what they got. Great start to the tournament.
Sure.
Dwight, just speaking on what we were just talking about. I mean, can we do one segment on the show at some point about Tajiri, then the Mamalukes, super crazy?
Mamalukes.
Can we just do a whole? You know what I'm saying? Can we devote 30 minutes to that, please?
The Mamalukes. Jeff's talking about his Pennsylvania family.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, I will say this though, guys. Remember, Tajiri, as far as the Dean of Old School goes, he's an important person to remember in our chapter on wrestling history as the man who invented slapping your leg when you kick someone. Tajiri.
and now, like Evil Uno and like Finley said, this generation will have cauliflower thighs.
That's right.
All right, so on to the main event tonight. We are talking G1.
You want to talk about a ball of emotion?
Okay, so I'm going to give you do we want to go one block at a time, discuss the winner of each block, and then talk final?
We're not gonna have enough time to do all that tonight.
We have almost 25 minutes.
Yeah, let's go down the.
Yeah, do we want to do the contest first so if somebody's watching they can keep up?
Yep.
Well, why don't we give our predictions tonight and we can post ours, and then the 19th is the beginning of the tournament, so anybody who's watching now or anybody who wants to post onto the PWO Facebook or onto the YouTube channel, as long as they are up before matches start on the 19th, can be a part of the contest to win the G1. So predictions for the G1. A block. We'll start with A block.
Can I?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. I was just going to say, let's just put over the G1 and how awesome that is. I just love it. I do.
Yeah, yes, Pat.
Let's spend 2 minutes on this. Maybe we just need yes or no's.
Let me answer your question.
You already know where I'm going with this.
Oh,
G1, the best event in sport wrestling?
Yes.
It's not close.
All right, I'm with it. Mm-hmm. All right, so let's start with A block. We have Kota Ibushi, Jeff Cobb, Okada, Ishii, Will Ospreay, Shingo Takagi, Minoru Suzuki, Tai Chi, Jay White, and Yujiro Takahashi. Who is your winner? Who's your winner from A Block? Who wants to start?
So our contest is the top 2 block getters, and then who the block champion is, and then the final.
Okay.
I guess since I shoehorned this, I'll go
Thank
first.
you for clarifying that.
Hey,
Ever
point.
artificial. Gotta have the rules in.
I gotta keep this place in line. So I'm gonna say my top 2. I'm gonna go Kota Ibushi and the ace Kazuchika Okada, and my block A winner is going to be Kota. Also, have you seen night 1 of just all the block A matches? It's absolutely stacked.
Yeah.
This they're stacked every year, but this is the most stacked block I can think of.
Yeah.
A couple of
Recent
years.
memory.
Yeah, like since we really started talking wrestling 2 or 3 years ago, like before all this started, even like it's definitely the biggest I can remember that we discussed it. Okay, so you have Ibushi winning block A with Okada coming in second.
Correct.
In block A. Okay, does anybody ready to go next, Jeff?
I really got to sit down and look at this thing. I don't really. I'm not saying I don't want to give my picks now, but I really have to sit down and actually put time into this thing. So.
All right. Well, I'll go.
All right. So me and
sorry,
the Dean will go, and then
there we go.
Then you have to have an answer for us.
Jeez.
I'll go, and I
there you go, Jeff. Think about
it. Block A.
Block A. I think I'm going to go and looking at it, it's just, gosh, there's so many matches. I mean, Suzuki and Jay White and Okada and Ospreay. And I mean, so I'm going to go with, I think Jay White's going to win that A block. And I think that the second, it's going to be Okada, Jay White and Okada, but Jay White's going over.
Interesting. So let me start by saying my actual predictions for what will happen do not necessarily coincide with our future programming of PWO Creative Control that'll be premiering this week.
The views of Patrick Lilly.
So keep that in mind, as the actual Creative Control show will have a different outcome than my predictions for what is going to happen. That's
disclaimer.
That is dream booking versus actual booking. We highly suggest you check that show out coming Wednesday. So I have Will Ospreay and Shingo Takagi as my top 2.
Ooh.
For A block, and I got Shingo going over this time instead of Ospreay going over.
And then you've got the gatekeeper coming in second, right?
No. I've got Ospreay coming in second.
Yeah.
He's going Ospreay the gatekeeper.
Mm-hmm. I hope he ends up in dead freaking last.
You hate Will Ospreay, huh?
Personal reasons, but yeah.
That's how I feel about Jay White.
And you know what? That's why professional wrestling is the greatest.
The mid card, Jay White.
Oh my god. Anyway, Jeffrey,
I'm gonna go with my man D White. We're not worthy. I think we're gonna have Jay White come out the A block and Okada be.
If Jay White comes out over all of these stars,
you asked us what we thought. That we don't need anything extra.
I'm just saying.
You realize we're talking about former IWGP Heavyweight Champion Jay White?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Who won the G1?
So
he freaking won already.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware.
Yeah. He beat everybody in the company that they're in.
Just because it happened doesn't mean it was the right booking.
Oh my god!
You guys in your Kmart Kenny Omega. God bless.
You're not wrong.
They're two different people.
You're right. Kenny Omega is a much better wrestler.
Okay.
They tried to give it to the other white guy in the company.
I think you mean performer. This is
Right.
Kenny Omega's fault, by the way, because he would decided to go to AEW and do his art and everything.
You're right. If he'd have stayed in New Japan, Jay White would have stayed where he belonged, and that's in the mid
Yeah.
card.
At the top, beating everybody else.
In the mid card.
Yeah. Oh, so we got none of us picked Okada, which was.
Did you see?
When I,
Did you see Omega's title run in New Japan?
Which
Neither
you
did
know,
I.
which you know what that means.
he's going to win it. Yeah.
That he is, of course, going to win it.
He ain't got there yet.
B block. We are going Tanahashi, Juice Robinson, Goto, Yano, Yoshihashi, Naito, Sonata, Zack Sabre Jr., Kenta, and Evil.
Oh, yeah, I gotta
Man.
figure out which way to lean. I guess I'll go first again. I'm going to say that the top two are going to be Tana and Tetsuya Naito. And Naito will win Block B.
Mm.
I mean, the most interesting match of that whole thing, on night 14, you're going to have Naito and Evil. I think that'll be a swing match. Honestly, whoever wins that will probably win Block B.
See, I need more time for this.
Well, I'll pop up in front of you again. That way, it gives you some more time to think about it.
See, and look, it's right there in front of you.
No,
Well,
but I mean, I really need time. Go.
I can't. So as I look at this block, and I'm thinking about like, who are the is the Bullet Club on the wane, or are they going to try to bring Bullet Club back? Is Los Ingobernables basically, is that over with Evil Naito? Was that just during the lockdown part of? I don't know, but
Dwight, can I pick your brain real quick?
No, well, let me make my picks first because
Go
I'm going to say I'm going to go against what Pat said, and I am going to pick what I want to happen really bad. What I want to happen is for Kenta to win the B block, and it'd be Kenta and Naito, and Kenta wins, and that puts Jay White against Kenta for the ultimate leader of Bullet Club. That's
okay. So I was gonna say that, but I didn't want to steal your thunder because I didn't want you to think I was copying you. Yeah, I think something in the back of my head says Kenta just because it'll cause a bunch of commotion. You know what I'm saying? Like it'll throw kind of everything into because I mean, listen, New Japan, the wrestling is great. And that goes by its own, but it's the subtle storylines that you know what I mean. It's just simple. They're simple things. So man, shit.
Are you sticking with that?
No, because Sam, were they shoving Evil to the moon, and that's what they want to do. And so Evil wins this, and it's Evil against Jay White for the Bullet Club lead. I don't know, but I really would like Naito to just win everything again. That's all. But
it makes sense though that you would have Jay White win the A block though, and Evil win the B block if we're going to reestablish Bullet Club as the top stable in the world.
Well, okay, well, that's what I'm going with then. Evil and Naito again, and Evil goes over, and it's Evil against Jay White. That's fine.
Now, just for clarity's sake, on night 8, you're gonna have Kenta versus Evil.
I
think that could be a swing match also.
Why couldn't the G1 be during COVID when we didn't have to go to work?
Because we wouldn't have gotten any Jay White.
That would have been even better.
We also wouldn't have Kenta.
That's the price I'd be willing to pay.
Oh god.
Okay. I'm gonna call an audible here because I've just got you always bet on black. I'm going Sonata.
Wow.
You're gonna steal my thunder, I think.
I'm going Sonata actually. Yeah, I think
Sonata. Because if not now, when?
Yeah,
that's right.
I've got to keep kayfabe.
Yeah.
Who's in second for you?
I would actually I don't think Naito. I think Naito is going to get kicked to the curb here. I don't think he's going to get. I think he's just going to get rashed this whole tournament, and that's going to be that. That's what I think. But so I'll go Sonata And probably Evil because he's still built in storylines there.
There you
Yeah,
go.
Sonata and Evil. Yeah.
All right. Well,
Sorry, Pat.
I was going the other way from Dwight. Instead of Bullet Club being all hashed out here, we were gonna hash out Los Ingonables with Sonata going over in Block B over Evil, and Sonata and Takagi in the final.
Isn't this a beautiful thing?
And of course, the winner getting Naito at Wrestle Kingdom's really gonna rip all of that apart.
That's why I don't think Naito's going to get a good run here because they don't need him to. If that makes, you know what I'm saying? That makes any sense.
He's got all the belts already.
Yeah, he doesn't
think
need
that
to
Naito
go.
shouldn't even be in this, but that's just me.
Agreed. That's why I think he's just going to get bounced and it's going to be the high drama everywhere else.
They'll beat the losers in Block B, like Yano and Juice.
Yeah. No, yeah. But I mean, like, I don't think he's going to go on a deep run where, no, I think he's going to be gone.
All right,
And,
everybody has established their finals. So did you guys pick winners as we went along there, or no?
Called mine like 2 weeks ago, but I am picking Kota Ibushi to the moon. It is time. Let's get this shindig going.
If not,
Okay.
no.
And I hope in A block Tai Chi finishes dead last.
Oh, you.
So just for everybody, Ryan. So you have Ibushi going over
Naito.
Naito in the finals.
Mm-hmm.
Resetting the match for Wrestle Kingdom.
Yep.
Okay.
Hopefully somebody doesn't die.
Yeah, no kidding. D. White, what do you got?
Yeah, I think what's going to end up happening is I'm going to pick my final as Evil and Jay White, and Evil is going over, and Jay White gets sent back to wherever. I think his run as leader of Bullet Club was a joke, unfortunately. Not all his fault, but I think they kind of have a history of doing that, like giving some guy a shot, and then if it doesn't go exactly the way they hoped it would, he just falls right back down. You know, you can see that over the history of New Japan. I don't know that Jay White's gonna. I mean, what his long-term situation is there, but he's a guy that's probably primed for a move out of New Japan. So I think it's going to be Evil going. He's going to win the G1, and that's that.
More Evil and Naito. Jeff.
Hey, if I could go back to this.
Jay White and Sonata.
Well, I'm going to say,
Yeah.
like before the New Japan Cup, this would have seemed like a ridiculous pick. You know what I mean? Like, why would I even think this would happen? But anyway, they both happened. So go ahead.
Yeah. No. I mean, I'm gonna go. I got to piggyback off of Dwight a little bit. So I guess, yeah, because Jay White's not gonna win the whole thing. So yeah, I guess Sonata.
Yeah.
Sonata.
Yeah, and since I guess maybe you have a power struggle kind of for the top guy. I don't know.
It's gonna fall apart. That's what's gonna happen.
Or maybe Naito, you couldn't get the job done against Evil, so now Sonata's got to do it, kind of, even though he got his head cut off too. I don't know. We'll see.
So Shingo beats Sonata in the final, and he'll take the belt off of Naito at Wrestle Kingdom, and leave the faction.
Gosh, bold.
Or Okada wins his whole thing.
Or Okada wins it again, and all the dollars drop night 2 of Wrestle Kingdom.
Jesus Christ.
It is so.
And
If
Dwight
you're
does his
if you're trying
Okada.
if you're trying to beat the experts fans, always bet on Okada. Always bet on chaos.
I was just saying, always Always bet on. Yeah, how do you say John Cena in Japanese?
Cena!
Okada.
It's actually it's probably Tanahashi though, honestly. But
It is Tanahashi.
Go Ace.
It is Tanahashi.
Go somewhere else, Ace. All right. Well, that is the G1 predictions. Man, that's tough on the fly, Jeff, huh?
Oh yeah, I'm telling you, like I still don't like it. So when we get off here, I'm gonna watch a little bit of football, and I'm gonna try to get I'm gonna really use my brain. You know.
So before we get into a Ben-like argument, are our 4 picks locked in, or are we allowing Jeff to change his picks?
Oh no, there's
it
still
doesn't have to be due until
5 days.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say yes.
I just got a anonymous Raw general manager text.
Hornswoggle underneath your island.
I've been
Michael Cole?
WrestleCast is gospel. So all 4 predictions are officially locked in. Everybody else's is not. That's from the eyes in the sky.
Oh God,
that's right. Hey, you know what that is? That's pure wrestling rules right there. That's pure wrestling rules.
It's being fed right into the headset.
I
from
bet
Gorilla.
it is.
There's nothing I can do about it.
Yep. Well, hey, I want to throw back on that. While we're talking about wrestling stuff, the G1 is awesome, and we just talked about this. And if anybody out there doesn't take the time to go watch some New Japan Pro Wrestling, do yourself that favor, and you'll understand why we think about it like this, and why we can have such divergent. Because when we talk about WWE pay-per-views, we pretty much all have the same. We guess right because it's so predictable. Where this isn't. You know, this is actually we don't really know.
Like, for perspective, for non-New Japan watchers, for as much as I bag on Jay White, man, that guy would be probably one of my favorite wrestlers if he was on a WWE show.
Yeah,
that is the difference in talent. That is the difference in ability. Now, unfortunately, he wouldn't be the Switchblade. He'd be like,
Blade. I don't know, like,
he would.
Don't even do it. Don't even do it.
He'd be the potato salad. Jay White.
He'd be doing this. He'd be like the Bushwhackers. You know.
Oh my God.
He'd be Jay White, and he'd come out looking like Mordecai.
No, he would be Jay White coming out looking like Kerwin White.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That guy would be coming to the ring in some dress slacks and a white polo.
Oh yeah.
I'd be super excited for that.
Well, I know one thing. His
best friends
move,
with Joseph Park.
Yeah, his finishing move would definitely be kicking someone in the balls. That would definitely be his finisher. Shout out to Shinsuke Nakamura there. But so yeah, that's something that people that really, when you look at WWE fans, I got into a little bit of a tiff with one on Twitter today because I dared to criticize Nia Jax, and then oh my gosh, there are actually people that love her.
Wait, were you that Indian guy on Twitter that Nia Jax tweeted back at?
Yeah, no, I got in the middle of that, and
that was funny. Her tweet back was funny.
Her tweet back was funny, but
it was funny.
The irony is that she's tweeting at some random guy from India,
right?
Talking about her wrestling ability. How much is that Indian dude in your head, Nia? Because it sounds like a lot.
Think about this. She wasn't even tagged in that. It didn't have her.
That's what I'm saying.
Hashtag. So she searched.
That means she searches her own name and
right.
tweets about her.
Oh, see, I don't know how that works.
She's not like most girls, right?
So Jeff, if you don't like, if someone doesn't tag at
Pat
you,
Lily, okay,
she wouldn't see that tweet unless like she went to the search bar and put in Nia Jax and searched tweets. With her name and then
everything
with the name in it, not the handle. So yeah, how much are fans in her head if she's going on Twitter finding people that don't actually use her handle so
Well, and
she
if you-
can tweet back at them.
If you read the comments though, and that was kind of one because I was kind of to see what people were saying, and I still can't believe there's people that really like her.
Surprisingly have a lot of
Yeah.
fans. I saw that.
But one of them came at me and I said something about hurting people, and she goes, "Well, she apologized to Becky," and I went, "Whoa! You're coming at me like that's the only person she's ever hurt." And so I was like, "How about R-Truth? How about Kairi Sane? How about Ember Moon? How about Alexa Bliss?" I went, "She's notorious for that." I mean, the fact that she legit injured R-Truth at the Royal Rumble and slammed his face into the wall, he was going to come after her, according to the reports. Like, look, I don't know why she doesn't just get fired, because like
you know why?
She's a part of the family.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you get hurt.
The
I mean,
same
you start
reason
hurting
Roman
people.
Reigns is the world champion is the same reason Nia Jax still has a job.
I mean, she's a female version of, I mean, she just may as well say, "Feed me more." That's because that's what she's the same person.
Feed me.
I mean, just
She's not like most girls.
Seymour.
Feed me Seymour.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm just throw that out there. Just the fact that I don't ever want to see Nia Jax on my TV.
Okay, so we have 4 minutes.
Oh, really quick. I'm gonna just step in. Thank you to fan of the show, Mike DeShazo, who has gone to the coffee site and has generously donated to PWO. So thank you to Mike DeShazo.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, DeShazo.
Yeah,
Okay, so match. It could be either block. We'll just do one match. Match you are most looking forward to in the G1 blocks.
oh man.
I'll go first. A block, night 1, main event, Kazuchika Okada, Kota Ibushi.
Okay.
Not so subtly. Also, your picks.
Also my pick, yes. Which means that I fully anticipate Ibushi to go over, because if God forbid there's a tie at the end.
Mm-hmm.
In block, yeah, I got Shingo and Okada is the match I'm looking forward to the most.
I'm with Pat. Yeah, probably Shingo and Okada. Yeah.
Are we just pick an A block?
I mean,
I think
we did it so
A
quick.
block's just so loaded.
We did it so quick. We could do both.
Okay, but let's. All right.
Get a B block ready, Ryan and Jeff.
I'm ready.
All right. Well, so for me, for A block, yeah, I'm gonna say I'm looking forward to Jay White. No. Yeah, I want to see Minoru Suzuki against everybody, but probably I would like to see Minoru Suzuki murder Taichi. Maybe that's what I want.
And if that's what you're looking forward to,
It is.
I want to tell you, you're going to enjoy Creative Control on Wednesday.
This is shameless.
Woo.
I'm going to give you a spoiler now. Minoru Suzuki is going to go undefeated in the G1.
Of course he is.
So we're doing block B now, right?
Fantasy book. You got to suspend reality. Don't give me that look, Ryan.
I'm all right.
Look, he is gonna be a lonely warrior all G1.
Oh gosh. Well, for B block, I want to see Kenta and Naito. That's what I'm looking for.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be good.
I mentioned it a little earlier. B block, night 14. You've got Tetsuya Naito versus Evil. I think that it might come down to that, to who wins that block, and also they've had some pretty good matches as of late. So I'm gonna go that.
I'm actually gonna go Zack Sabre Jr. and Kenta. I just think that they're those two. The way Kenta's working now and the way Zack Sabre Jr. works, those two styles kind of
sounds like a cruiserweight classic match.
Well, you're right, but I want to see it on the New Japan,
yeah,
stage
gauge or level stage, yeah.
All right, and I am gonna go with Sonata and Evil because the storytelling is gonna be fantastic. You just know that they're gonna tear each other apart with the history there. All right, well, that's our show tonight, guys. Thank you for watching us. This has been PWO WrestleCast. Check us out on all of our channels, whether that's Facebook, YouTube. You can hear us if you're not watching live on most, Spotify, iTunes, all that good stuff. Make sure you hit us up on the Kofi.com, PWO123 for donations if you're looking to help us out. Ryan Coddington, what do you got going on?
So literally moments before we kicked off the show here, video finally finished processing episode 8 of Referee's Discretion. That is Chris Jericho's Rock and Wrestling Rager at Sea 2018. Wednesday will be NXT TakeOver 2014. And then this weekend, I'm shooting some stuff with Jeff, some old school ECW stuff. So
fantastic. I can tell you that tomorrow night we will be shooting episode 1 of PWO Creative Control, focusing on the G1, Wrestle Kingdom, and New Japan Cup. So we're going to drop that probably Wednesday on the YouTube channel. D. White, we have any news on homework being provided for us?
Yeah, we're gonna work on doing some shooting this week. So hopefully before the end of next week, we'll have that first episode, which will explore the family tree that is the Blackjack Mulligan and why he is important and you should know about him.
Awesome. All the content is coming, guys. Please check us out on YouTube. Check us out on Facebook. We appreciate all the love and support. You guys have a fantastic night.
Stay safe and wear your masks.
No, wear your mask.